What is oxidative stress from a cellular point of view? Every cell in your body contains these little structures known as mitochondria. They're the engines that burn our food and create the energy that drives everything we are and everything that we do. It drives the thoughts that you think in your brain. It drives the muscles that enable you to walk and run. And in principle, the mitochondrion is not very different from the internal combustion engine that drives your automobile. It takes in food, in its case, gasoline. It takes in oxygen. It burns that fuel, and it produces energy in a useful form. One of the things that mitochondria have in common with internal combustion engines is that they are not 100% efficient. They're byproducts. Ideally, we'd like for all of that fuel to appear as water vapor and carbon dioxide, and in a perfectly designed engine, that would be the case. We haven't built a perfectly designed engine yet. Your car produces all kinds of byproducts, and your cells produce some of the very same byproducts. Specifically, one of them is this free radical, the superoxide radical. It's called superoxide because it's like oxygen, only it's super. Oxygen is what supports the combustion process. This is even more reactive than oxygen. It's really superoxygen. It's a very potent oxidizing species. It's toxic to cells. It's toxic to the parts of your car that produce it. Your cars have catalytic converters to deal with this toxic byproduct, and your cells also have catalytic converters. Those catalytic converters are called enzymes. They're called, in some cases, antioxidant enzymes, such as superoxide dismutase and catalase. They serve exactly the same function as catalytic converters on your automobiles. What happens if you don't scavenge, take care of, convert these reactive products? They can do a number of very damaging things to biological systems. They can oxidize proteins, and the example I've shown here is an antioxidant enzyme itself called PON1, protects against atherosclerosis, very important enzyme. It's inactivated by oxidative stress. And so if you have high levels of oxidative stress, the levels of PON1 circulating in your plasma go down. They go down in many, many diseases, in rheumatoid arthritis, in multiple sclerosis, in diabetics, in patients with autoimmune diseases. It's a marker of what's going wrong in this system within your body. Too many oxidants are being produced. They're damaging proteins and enzymes. They can also damage fat, lipid molecules. And when that happens, it produces something you've probably heard about, TBARS. TBARS is an acronym, but it measures oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids. Polyunsaturated fatty acids are not bad. They're essential for life. Every food you eat has some polyunsaturated fatty acids. You use it to synthesize your own cell membranes. But this free radical can damage that biological family of molecules as well. So it can damage proteins, it can damage lipids. It can also damage DNA. Another category of biological molecules, and everybody knows DNA is important. That's what constitutes your genes. It's what makes each of us different. It's what gives your children characteristics that they inherited from you. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but that's the way that goes. The same free radical can damage DNA. Again, not a good thing. So here's a third category of biological molecules that can be damaged by DNA. Damaged DNA is called mutated DNA. And the right mutations in the right genes can lead to cancer, one of the biggest health problems we face. Again, the result of free radical attack on our DNA. And the free radicals can also signal events in our bodies. Some of these are not always damaging, and in the right place at the right time, they're good. Fibrosis is formation of scar tissue. So if you cut yourself, you want that wound to heal as quickly as possible. And fibrosis helps that to come about. However, if your heart becomes fibrotic, it's medically known as heart failure. The pump quits working at its normal output. Not good. Apoptosis is actually programmed cell death. It's a way by which cells can die. At times, that's good. When you're an embryo, this process of apoptosis actually is what carves out your fingers from what looks originally like mittens. And as the fetus develops, everything goes normally, and you develop hands and fingers as you should. So apoptosis is not a bad thing in the right place. But if the cells in your heart undergo apoptosis, it's not a good thing. The cells in your brain undergo apoptosis, and you may be diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. So all of these things require balance. Some of them are universally bad. Some are bad only when the amount is incorrect. What protects us from oxidative stress is not one antioxidant enzyme or even two, even though that's what we focused on in paper number 1. It's an entire system of antioxidant enzymes. And here we see a tiny corner of that system. The enzymes are shown in blue on this sequence of reactions. The bad products are shown in red, and the detoxified products, or the antioxidant products that help get rid of the bad stuff, is shown in green. It's the blue enzymes that make these reactions occur. The first paper really focused only on that little part. It looked at the reactions catalyzed by ethylene catalase. A second paper, which is one of the very important ones, showed that the enzymes involved in making glutathione, you hear a lot about glutathione in this industry, are also upregulated by protandim, allowing our bodies, our cells, our individual cells to make more glutathione. Not because the precursors or the raw materials to make glutathione are limiting. Sometimes they are. More often, it's the enzymes. It's the things encoded by your genes, upregulated by protandim, that allow you to make more of these things.